section. The Film Slice crew review yesterday.
Today.
Hey Brody, how was your yesterday?
My yesterday was pretty good, so yesterday.
Yeah? Out of 10? How would you rate your yesterday? What'd you get up to?
Out of 10, I would give it a sweet yesterday.
Cool, that's the Film Slice crew reviewing yesterday. End of podcast. We did it, everybody. Goodbye.
Nailed it.
Back in. Here we go. Hey team, Angus
Strachan
Strachan here.
Oh.
Welcome to the Film Slice podcast.
No one wants to listen to this.
I will.
Remember, I've got Kane Diggity next to me, and we've also got Broadman, man formerly known as Broad.
Hi there, thank you.
Broadman. Yes.
Thanks.
Today we're reviewing yesterday.
So we all know my name is tomorrow. So
Yes, tomorrow,
You're welcome.
when the war began.
Yep.
The movie we're not reviewing because today we're reviewing yesterday. Today, Cane Dogs.
Not
Tomorrow. And you'll listen to this on a different day.
What did you
Tomorrow.
want, Jordan?
What? Sorry, tomorrow?
All right, Cane Dogs, hit us up with that IMDb summary.
Alrighty.
Summary on IMDb, read by Jordan. Doesn't rhyme, bit annoying.
Oh. A struggling musician realizes he's the only person on Earth who can remember the Beatles after waking up in an alternate timeline where they never existed.
Sweet. I guess we go right into it. When you see the movie, what do you think?
Tomorrow.
I saw it yesterday.
When did you see the movie? And what did you think about the movie?
No one wants this.
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
Trying to get rid of the guitar, I promise.
I saw it yesterday.
Okay. Excellent. Roadman saw it yesterday.
I also saw yesterday.
Thoughts? Wait. What?
I saw yesterday.
Cool.
Isn't that just 2 days ago?
I saw
don't
it
think they
yesterday,
stack.
2 days ago.
So you saw yesterday 2 yesterdays ago.
Yeah, so 3 days ago.
Alright.
I thought it was alright. I thought it was above par,
Yeah.
but it wasn't great,
You went golfing yesterday.
if that makes sense.
This is going to be great.
I don't think they golfed at the movie, Angus.
Look, I'm really sorry. Just skip to the next podcast. It's fine.
No, please continue. Yesterday. Tomorrow, sorry.
What did you want?
I said please continue tomorrow.
Okay, should I come back?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it yesterday
Yeah, good,
with
good.
with another friend from work.
Excellent.
And I thought the film was shithouse. I thought it was real boring.
Oh, really?
I thought
There
it
you
was
go.
shithouse. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Angus,
When did
when
see
did
the
you
movie,
see?
what did you think?
Angus, tell us about yesterday. What did you think about yesterday?
Yesterday, the movie, I
saw Angus
absolutely enjoyed. I saw it 3 days ago now, and I came out of the cinema just like with a big smile on my face. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I loved it. I'm not like the biggest fan of the Beatles, but I know a lot of their songs.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a real clever idea, and I like how small it actually was. Like, there wasn't a lot of cast and crew. Like, there's just kind of a main core bunch. It wasn't overdone, I don't think. I think it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram, Broadman hits up Twitter, and Cane Dogs are on Facey about what
true.
movie we're reviewing, and we asked the Slicey Slicers out there, all you lovely listeners, what your thoughts are on the film, and normally no one replies.
Oh, not recently.
Well, guess bloody what? I've got two. I've got
Hey.
2 comments.
I also have 2 comments.
That's 4.
Hey!
Broadman, tweets.
Everyone, we got so many replies on Twitter, but they're all being a bit of a dick face.
Okay,
so-
yeah.
That's too many to really go through. We
yeah,
don't expect you to go through that many.
That's fair enough. Okay. Well, I'll go first. First off, we've got from not.filmslice.host. Says Fappo, a.k.a. the blonde short one, should take his pancakes elsewhere, the lil bitch.
I bought. My mum made pike, but it's not.
And can I just say, they were fantastic. This
But,
is
yeah,
they're really nice.
They're real fantastic.
You're
I
not
love
getting any anymore, Brody. No more pike for you.
First of all, that's not my name.
You're.
Don't pass name me, bitch. That's
it.
cruel.
Don't give him yesterday's name.
Yeah.
And then we've got from Hooverman91.
Also
we've
broken.
got flame emoji, tear emoji, clap hands emoji, heart emoji, love heart eyes emoji. So that's nice. That's nice of him. That's really well.
Man, also very mean towards Jordan. That's a bit cruel.
I'm really not sure how you've managed to somehow debunk our entire podcast and also social media in general. Well done. Good job ruining 2 things for everybody.
I mean, someone's got to comment.
This is true. K-Dogs, Facey.
Yep, yeah, I've got 2 comments, but I have now just realised that they're both from the same person. So I've got one comment in 2 parts.
You've got one commenter.
I swear it wasn't me.
First one, not really a moral dilemma. Shouldn't have felt bad for what he was doing. Seemed like they were just trying to immortalise the Beatles.
Who was that?
That's from a Natan Kleinikik.
Don't know.
Natan Kleinikik.
Don't know who that is.
Natan Kleinikik. We did, yeah, never met him. And then his other comment is kind of spoilers, so I might return back to it after we hit that mark.
Okay, yep, cool. All right, so before we hit the spoilers, we've got one more section to do, and that is, would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to? Sorry. Hold on.
No.
Would you recommend it?
Who
would you recommend it to?
That's not any of the tunes.
No.
I wouldn't recommend this film at all. I don't recommend it to anyone.
Ah.
Look, there's a lot of musical films at the moment that immortalize
Stand-up
a
music.
lot of great other bands, and just go watch one of those. Just out of all the music films that we've got coming out, that are just like, here's music that you've forgotten about. The other ones are better, so just go see one of those.
Because of the music or because of the film?
Both.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like I would recommend this one. It's a bit of a cash.
Yeah.
Like if you've got nothing to do, go watch Yesterday. It's like it's not gonna mess with anyone. You know, it's not like this is a really divisive film. Oh, it's just like, this is just a casual watch. This is nice.
Yeah, totally agree. I would agree with Cane Dogs that it's very much a remember how good these songs are kind of a film, because that's pretty much what it is. Like, remember the Beatles? They were so cool. But if you like the Beatles, definitely would recommend this film.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It is kind of quirky and funny in an English kind of view. It's like a very English comedy.
It actually felt a little bit like a Taika Waititi film to me. It felt very like, I know it's not New Zealand. I get that, but in the style of comedy and how sort of smaller scope everything felt, very much felt like a Taika Waititi film.
Definitely, yeah. Like, there's awkward silences and like kind of things that you just like little quirks that you pick up on that are funny, as opposed to like the kind of big
like really theatrical
OTT
jokes.
OTT jokes. So if you like any of that, for sure. Yeah. Anything else before we head into spoilers?
No.
All right. Roadman, sound the alarm.
No, put it down.
Spoilers. Here we go to the spoilers. We're going to the spoilers. So get ready for the spoilers.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we're in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. May the Beatles remember us for who we were. Not the other way around. Cane Dogs. Any cinema dicks?
Angus, Cinema Dick song.
Look, I'm real sorry.
Any
Just
cinema dicks?
go to a different podcast.
In your cinema.
Wait another week. We'll be doing Spider-Man Far From
Do
Home.
you have
Head over to
any dicks in your cinema?
If you want to go backwards, John Wick 3 podcast is pretty great. Head over to that.
This is the time for the cinema dicks. So you can whip out
I'm just saying you got options.
your...
If you're listening to this, it's kind of your fault.
Angus, can you play Killing in the Name of?
Yeah. Killing in the name of... Killing in the name of... Killing in the name of... Killing in the name of...
I remember that song is really divisive with how screamo and aggressive it was, but looking
Killing
back
in
on
the
it, it
name
doesn't seem
of-
nearly as
Killing in the
hardcore.
name of...
And
Fuck you.
I won't do what you tell ya. Me. Fuck you. Ooh. Anyway, that's enough of that. K-Dog, cinema dicks.
I've got 2. One of them isn't so much a cinema dick, it's more like just a funny anecdote. But me and my friend from work, we work at a school, ran into one of the small children that also work at the school.
Work at the school.
Yeah,
Child labour.
They were there when we were buying tickets, and they were like, "What are you seeing?" And the friend I was with was like, "Yesterday," and immediately I knew what was happening there, because the kid went, "No, what are you seeing today, though?" And she, without realizing, stayed right on course and went, "No, yesterday." And the kid had a stroke. And then for Cinema Dick,
Is he alright?
yeah, no, he'll be fine.
Cards?
Yeah, no, look, he's no,
Send him
he'll be the
flowers.
he'll be the same.
Bit young for a stroke.
Nah, it's fine. Look. And then towards the end of the film,
Yeah.
but not at the... So the film hadn't ended. It was still like 15 minutes left. an older gentleman got up to leave the cinema. And a lot of people left the cinema. There was even at one point during this film where 2 women left, and then that woman and a man came back. So some sort of weird transformation happened in that time. But also, like, there's nobody that didn't know where the exit to this cinema was at this point, because so many people had gotten up and left and come back. But this
Just
guy,
in case you weren't sure.
but this guy got up and went to the exit door. Not realize, like, and we were right next to the exit door, which is on the other side of the cinema. And halfway through the film, he
And is
just
that the front of the cinema?
yeah,
Yeah.
like he just walked in front of the screen, went to the big green exit sign, and opened that up. And the audience, like all of us, were just hit with this bright light of outside and like wind and rain, and it was just a big light on him going, "Ah!" And then he closed the door and then slowly walked in the other direction. And although we all probably felt bad, the whole cinema laughed our asses off at that guy.
Cinema Dick. Dick Cinema.
Yes, the cinema has the... I was in a really, really small cinema, because obviously there are a lot of big films kind of showing at the moment. So all of the good cinemas are taken up. So I was in the smallest one in the cinema. And the problem with the smallest one is it also has the oldest kind of like stuff in it, which means that the exit sign is really old. But that means that the light in it is super fucking bright.
Ah, damn.
So it's basically like you're looking at a cinema and you can see the screen and then you can see the exit light, which is just a piercing, blinding light in your left eye. And it's just like, this is the most annoying thing I can put. Oh, jeez, that was annoying.
The worst.
It was just because it was, you know when you go into a movie theater and those little lights that shine up on the floor are just too bright. And you're like, if you're on the aisle seat, you're like, this is so fucking annoying.
The worst, yeah.
It was like that, but it was just there for everyone to see. Everyone in my cinema, which was almost packed, by the way, which was weird. Everyone in the cinema, it was just a blinding light just in my left eye.
Is it illegal to, like, just chuck a jumper over it just for
Yes.
movie? Yeah.
It's very illegal, yeah.
Yeah. Good
But I
thing
mean-
I haven't done that.
I mean, still do it.
Oh, geez.
Angus, Cinema Dick.
I don't think I had a Cinema Dick.
Did you throw a jumper over an exit sign?
No. Nah.
No, I don't know.
Wouldn't do that.
You did though, didn't
That'd
you?
be a Cinema Dick.
You did though.
I mean, I've never been a Cinema Dick, so nah.
You were a Cinema Dick in our last podcast.
Anyway, no Cinema Dicks. It was a
Okay,
very
cool.
pleasant cinema.
Oh, a little
very
pleasant
pleasant cinema going experience.
Yep.
That's enough of the cinemas. Let's get on to the movie yesterday.
Yes.
Yes,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Positive.
What?
Yesterday.
Tomorrow, tell us your favourite thing about
Tomorrow,
yesterday.
tell us your favorite thing about yesterday.
I really liked Ed Sheeran, actually. I fucking love Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, me too.
And I think he's awesome. And in this film...
Can't act well.
No, I noticed a scene where I was like, "Ooh, they did a lot of takes on that one."
I feel like he was fine. I feel like he looked very...
Yeah, definitely.
He looked very much like he is in real life.
Yeah.
I've seen him in like many interviews and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, I can see him being like this. And I just loved all the bits where he's just like, yeah, you're better than me.
Yeah.
Someone will tell me that you're going to come along and there's going to be someone better than me. And that was kind of heartbreaking to me because I was just like, oh...
Also, are you saying that you the best in reality though?
Yeah, I was gonna say I did pick up on that. I'm like, he is therefore saying
Kind of
that
insinuating that
in our universe
Yeah.
he is the best.
It must
But
be-
also,
I just...
it's pretty great.
yeah.
So
I love it when celebrities play themselves and they play like a much
Yeah.
worse version.
like the Keanu Reeves thing that he did recently in a film, and he just plays himself,
Yeah,
but
Be
he's
My
like a
Maybe,
really
yeah.
aggressive douche.
Oh.
And he's like he threatens to fight a guy. It's pretty great.
It's kind of like all of the celebrity cameos in the extras. It's just so good that all
Yeah,
of these
definitely.
celebrities are here and they're playing absolute
Themselves and
dickheads.
just- yeah.
But they're like being themselves. It's so
It must be so weird getting approached and being like, "We want you to play you
yeah.
in a movie."
I'll-
and then,
I'll-
like,
Except,
you'd be
but,
like,
but
I'm
also you're gonna
curious-
have to be a prick.
I'm curious if he was a part of it from like a much earlier point.
yeah.
Because it'd be weird to say like, "Do you want to be in this movie?" Because I feel like if you're a musician like that, you'd be like, "No."
Yeah, I'm a musician. I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a platform for Ed Sheeran to launch a new song, because there was a new song at the end of this film by Ed Sheeran, and I was like, oh,
I feel like Ed Sheeran's the kind of person who'd be like, "Do you want me to write a song
Yeah,
for the
definitely.
film?" And
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah.
Because he did that for like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I want to write a. Can I write a song
Yeah.
for The Hobbit?"
He's
They
such
chucked it in the credits. They're like, "Yeah,
yeah, he's such a like a nerd about music
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I could totally just see him as like,
Yeah,
oh,
for
can I write a song for the movie? It's
Yeah.
like, yes. It's like, yeah. I just love
Yeah,
every
definitely.
time he was on screen. I was just like, this is great. I'm
I think
really enjoying this.
I think it was fun having Ed Sheeran in it as well.
Yeah.
It was fun. Kane Dog's most positive about the film.
Most positive, I think, is overall the casts, like including Ed Sheeran, but also Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
She's starting to become a bit of a favourite of mine. Up until this last year, I'd only seen her in things that I didn't like, but now seeing her in some more reputable films, playing some more enjoyable characters.
Yeah.
Really enjoying her. I thought she was awesome. She had a lot of comedic beats for me. Also the roadie guy. The guy who was just a roadie, he had a lot of great laughs.
Yeah.
I thought he was really cool.
Definitely.
And also the main guy and the main actress. I thought they both did a fantastic job of playing.
Who's in one of your favourite films?
Gone with the Wind.
Drive you around to the beat of the music.
Oh, Baby Driver.
There you go.
That's where she's from.
Do you like the film now?
No. I've got decent. Look, I enjoyed a lot of this film. I just think that there are some really glaring problems with it that have really ruined it for me.
Yeah.
One of the things I did like is, because this isn't a true story, they're able to give us all these Beatles things, but they're also able to tell an interesting story. Which has sort of been my problem with a lot of these biopics, is like, I want to go watch a movie and have all of those songs and remember them, but I also can't be bothered hearing all about this person's life. And they found a way around it. They'll be like, how about we just tell a completely different story, but also make it about the Beatles? And I was like, oh, cool.
There was a big part in this movie that I really didn't like, and I'll get onto that in the negatives, but it was a major part.
Was it the fact that there was no Coke in the world, and that would have had a major impact on the world, and so would all the other things that are missing, but who cares about that?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Angus, what about you?
Yeah.
My favourite part? My favourite part was actually a song. I'll play it. I'll play it for you now.
Yep, cheers.
That's good. The audience really needs to hear it as well, I feel. They love hearing you play guitar.
Yeah, so that was probably my favourite song.
What's great is I know the people that are listening to this, and I know that at least half of them want that reprised. So, for those of you that don't know what it was, head over to Strachan, find the Hummus song. It's a bit of a fan favourite.
Yeah,
I love that we all knew it.
Originally by the Beatles.
Originally by the...
I've
no
got
one
an
remembers.
announcement to make. I stole it from the Beatles.
Who
No
are
one
the Beatles,
remembers.
Angus?
John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Yeah.
I think.
Who?
Yeah, no, you've nailed that,
Yeah,
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
I think besides that song, my most positive thing about it is the subversion of like the two seemingly like bad guys. Like there's the woman, the old woman that like remembers the songs, and the old Russian man that remembers the songs. And I really like that kind of subversion of like, like they're gonna call him out or something, and he's gonna have to like do this whole, forgiveness story and everything, and they just come in, they're like, thanks man, like
I love how
believe
British
anyone
she
else-
was as well.
Except that doesn't really work with how we first see him as being he looks quite angry and quite aggressive when you first see him at the Ed Sheeran.
I think
I
he just
reckon
looks
he
confused.
more like depressed, because
Yeah.
it almost looks like he's tearing up.
and
He's just
definitely.
kind of in shock almost.
yeah.
For sure. That, and then just hearing all of the songs, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Beatles song. Oh yeah, that's a Beatles song.
I am so far away from a Beatles fan that I had no idea. That I was just like, oh yeah, I've heard this song before.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's a
vaguely
Beatles song.
remember- yeah.
I've never just listened
He's
to
more
the
of an
Beatles.
arachnid kind of guy.
I've my parents have never just listened to the Beatles. I've just been so far away from the Beatles.
Yeah.
I in this movie I was just like, oh, that's a Beatles song. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Any of these songs.
And I really enjoyed the start, where he's like obviously just a struggling musician, and he's just
Very relatable.
flogging a dead horse. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Yeah,
Angus just out in the streets of Melbourne, hummus.
I mean, that's-
And everybody's like, it's a good tune, but maybe you should write some more.
I think
words.
everyone's just like, yeah, fair enough.
Guy really
You know
likes
what? No, it is good.
Guy really likes hummus.
It's like, he's where he's supposed to be.
He's made
In
it
the
about
gutter.
he's made it about as far as he's gonna get with that song. But you know what? Good on him.
Hummus.
I did like the moment where he was trying to shoehorn in the summer song.
Yeah,
In the
yeah, that was
recording
good.
studio, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Yeah, all of them are really good except the summer song."
Yeah, you really fucked that one up.
It's like I hate it, but also I don't want to listen to it again to find out why I hate
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
and that part of him just being like, "It's literally the only one of these songs that I made, and you hate it so heavily."
I did not get that. in the film, I was just like, oh, is there a Beatles song that everyone really hates? Because I just did not catch on that there was a song that he wrote called the
Yeah, so the summer song is his, and so he's clearly tried to in the recording studio, be like, I'll do about 5 Beatles songs, and then chuck my summer song and see how it goes. And everybody's just going, you know what? All of those other songs are great, but your song, real shithouse.
Yeah. The other thing that I could really, I really found funny was when he was trying to play Let It Be for the first time to his parents, and he kept on getting interrupted, and the parents are like, come on, mate, like, I've heard the intro 3 times. Skip forwards. Like, I think we've all been there when we've been like super proud of something, and like you try and show your parents, and they're like, all right, yep, cool.
This podcast.
Not me personally, because like my parents are awesome, but
not me personally, because everything I do is amazing and everyone's just totally captivated by it.
Here's the thing, whenever I'm like, hey mum, dad, here's something I've done, they're like, good, mate. I'm sure it was really hard. But anytime I'm like, so Angus has a new video, they're like, oh, bring it up. Let's have a look at him. Even today, mum and dad were like, hummus. They were bloody loving it, mate. So they're fine.
I would love to see your dad sing the hummus song.
True. All right, let's head into our negatives.
One of the big ones is a story moment, and it's basically where the main character, I have no idea what his name is, and the main love interest, and no idea what her name was, are sitting in a cafe, and she basically tells him, either you're a big pop star or you're with me, and it can't be both. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, that's shitty.
Yeah.
There's like, why are you being so shitty? This is such a weird. People have long distance relationship all the time, and also if he's a big pop star, then he can live. Like with you, he can record his music and then tour and then come back to what is this ultimatum? This is so shitty. Yeah. And so I absolutely hated that moment of the film. I was just like, you're just being a dick for kind of like for dick's sake
reasons.
Yeah. And I was just like, really didn't like that and that was like probably one of the bigger story beats in the film of like choosing between popularity or a relationship. And then the other bit is a CGI moment. And it's the James Corden show where he's not actually there.
Yeah.
And so they've used like a body double to film with James Corden and then put his head over the top. And oh man, I could not notice it. And I was just like, oh geez. I was just like, man, I am so curious of what happened that they couldn't get him out there to act with James Corden.
I think maybe that might have been one of my negatives. Is I think they just kind of shoehorned James Corden in just for more star power, but I think maybe they didn't need that scene. Like they could have just had.
I think the Ed Sheeran, like the whole point of I think the James Corden scene was to try and make it feel like it's happening in the real world. But you kind of have already done that with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
It's also a dream. It's also a dream sequence.
Mm. Yeah, true. So why bother? Good point.
Yeah. I did think of another negative. The other negative was, why did they pick someone so attractive to be that best friend? Like, if I was him, like, I don't think I wouldn't have attempted to be with her at some point in my life. But, like, the whole story was like, she's always kind of pining after him, but he's not.
Oh, yeah, and that's never really explained of, like, why they haven't gotten together.
Like, I've been pining after Angus for years, and I'm very attractive, and he still hasn't noticed.
No, there was that time, remember?
Oh, we don't talk about that time.
Okay. Well, that's why, though.
Oh.
See, they didn't talk about that time. They should have, in the movie yesterday, should have talked about that time and why.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
it would have made complete sense if like he was in a relationship with someone, and they didn't really get along, but he was just like never wanted to break up with her or something like that.
Yeah.
If there was something along those lines.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit weird that they've been like super super close since they were since they were like 12 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I did just find that kind of a blank space of like, there's nothing.
Like it's possible, but it needed an explanation.
Yeah, but then and it also comes on one of the things like she could have asked him out, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like totally.
Yeah, she waited happened. 10 years and then went, "How come you never made a move? You've had 10 years. You can make a move.
Yeah.
You don't have to be angry at him.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you could have a year in been like, by the way, kind of crushing on you a bit. Seen where that gone? Just wait 10 years and get slowly more resentful.
Yeah. Anyway, that was
it was like those little things that were just like a little bit of a problem with the story, but
yeah, definitely. All right, Cane Dogs, rip into it, mate.
Oh look, I don't need to rip into it. I've got a few problems. One,
tear it gently.
One of these is subjective because music is subjective. But the premise of this movie is if nobody had ever heard of the Beatles and they never existed, and then someone picked up a guitar in a small town and started playing a Beatles song, it would bring a tear to everybody's eye, and within weeks they'd be shot to being the most famous person in the world. I disagree. I have a small fondness for the Beatles. I'm sort of in between you both. I know a lot of the songs. I think they're cool for the time, but for the time being the key phrase. I think they were really good songs for the 60s, and they paved a way for a lot of things that have happened since, and I'm sure they had a big effect on the world for that time, and that's why those songs are still great and popular. But if you were to just pick up a guitar now, and no one had ever heard any of those songs, and you played one of them, it's not like, this is better than anything we have now. It's not. I mean, look, subjectively, some of you might think that it is, and you listening, you might be the biggest fan of the Beatles ever, but for me, and I would wager that for most people, if someone were to pick up and play a song like the Beatles, and I'd never heard of it before, and it didn't have that background, I'd be like, cool, that's a pretty cool song, man. And that'd be the end of it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like a week from now, there'd be a crowd and then a studio and then Ed Sheeran would be like, you're better than me, man. I don't know. No.
Yeah.
I just didn't believe the premise.
It's very interesting, like, because with the Beatles, they were so popular for their time. And
Exactly.
that's where a lot of the music nowadays has derived from. Like,
Exactly.
The Beatles is a stepping stone. So it is interesting, like, if you get rid of the Beatles, how many artists today won't actually be artists as well? And like it gets into this whole.
But they didn't touch on any of that. They weren't like, without the Beatles, there wasn't any of this.
Yeah,
they just went, everything still happened. It's just nobody remembers the Beatles.
That scene on the beach with John Lennon.
Yeah.
Is important because he died, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure he got assassinated.
I thought, didn't he get shot? Is he the guy that got shot on stage?
I'm not sure if he got shot on stage, but yes. Yes, he got assassinated. Because
I was watching that scene and I was just like, oh, he died, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just like, obviously...
Which is quite a pivotal point in the movie, because it kind of flips around on itself. Instead of like not really caring a lot about the people
Assassinated in 1980.
Yeah, instead of caring a lot about the actual Beatles, it's like all about this guy and like this existential thing of like, you know, his main character development. But then they do add in this John Lennon scene, which is very much like, so do you think the Beatles are remorseful that they were so famous? Like, they kind of maybe brought it in a bit too late.
There's a lot
what I mean? Like, because they're not the Beatles, they were able to live a happy life and...
Well, at least him anyway.
At least
he was able to live a long and happy life.
Yeah.
This brings me to my second negative, which is it touches on a lot of potential consequences, and then there are no consequences for this whole film.
Yeah.
Nothing ever bad really happens at all in this film. There's so many times where it's like, at some point, shit's going to hit the fan. And it just never does. And everything works out. And he's even on stage and he's like, look, I'm a fraud. I've plagiarized for the past however long I've been doing this. You've all, like, you know, I've lied to everyone I know, and everyone's like, what a good bloke. Good on him for being honest.
What a lad.
Good on him for being honest.
I think all the bad stuff that happened was guilt. It's like,
but even that's barely touched on because he's immediately forgiven by everybody, and his guilt lasts about 2 dreams worth.
It's because he turned things around and decided to do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
But that's not... You still need consequence. Otherwise, this is just a movie about a guy who did a thing and then went, nah, the end.
I feel like this film is very much that love story, though. Above everything else, it is about the two of them getting better. And in every single rom-com or love story you ever hear, it has the exact same storyline.
Which brings me to my last negative, which is I predicted the ending immediately. The minute it was like, hey, there's this girl and she, like, they're not together, but clearly they should be. I'm like... Alright, cool. He'll realize that she was there all along and that's what'll make him happy, not being famous.
Yeah.
And that was, like...
It is a very predictable
30 seconds into the movie, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I know the ending now. It'll be him being famous, but he won't be happy because he doesn't have her, but he won't realize that until towards the end, and then like, oh, all I needed was her.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably sing All You Need Is Love, because I also knew that was a Beatles song. And I went, okay, cool. I know all of this movie now.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, no, because my brain then, what if other people also remember the Beatles? And they're like, oh, there are. I'm like, okay, that makes it interesting, because there are other people that kind of do, and that'll fuck it up a bit.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're not going to have any consequence to this story. We're not going to tell anyone. We're only here for this one scene to tell you that you're doing the right thing, even though your realization is that you're not doing the right thing. So
but I think he realized that he is doing the right thing, but he feels guilty about profiting from it.
Yeah.
So he made the songs. And, I mean, yeah, it's
Look,
it is divisive. You're exactly right.
My point is just that there aren't any real nothing bad
yeah.
ever happened to this guy, and in my opinion, he did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So, and everything worked out.
Yeah.
Great.
It is. Yeah.
Who cares?
It is tricky, and you could argue pros and cons for days and days.
And that's the thing, we can, and therefore
From yesterday to tomorrow.
From yesterday to tomorrow.
just the fact that I don't think if anyone picked up a guitar right now and played a cool song, cool, they're not going to be shot to stardom.
Angus,
It's just
this
not.
is a cue for you.
No, it isn't. It's just that's not really how it works. And then he does it, and there's zero consequence to lying the whole way through the film.
Yeah.
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 Just missed all of the moments where there could have been, all of those moments where there could have been some weight, and some levity, and some self-reflection. It just really missed that mark, and it's really disappointing. But there are good things in the world too, like the hummus song, and the beanie song, and the beard song. I'm just realizing that all of Angus's are the same. Everybody got you bitch. But, chin up, guys, because yesterday is another tomorrow.
What?
I don't have anything else. You can probably sit down and guitar. I've got nothing else to do.
Cool.
I'm out.
Well,
I'm out.
I guess, guys, that reaches the end of the podcast here at the Film Slice Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We've really enjoyed it. We've really had a good time. I hope you guys have had a good time.
I haven't had a good time.
Cane Dogs hasn't had a good time,
No.
but that's pretty normal.
It's pretty
for
standard
him.
for Cane Dogs. He's very depressed, man. He's seeking medical help.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Before we end this little one, we've got one more number for you, and that is to decide what we're reviewing on next week's podcast. Na 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 na. Hey, Cane Dogs, what are we watching the next podcast? Na 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 na. Spider-Man.
It will be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
Does whatever Spider can. Shoots his web, climbs up walls, does whatever he fucking wants. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Thank you for listening to the Film Science Podcast. You can reach us on Instagram. You can reach us on Twitter and Facey. Make sure you hit us up for the next movie we're reviewing, Spider-Man Far From Home. We will see you next week. Bye. Love you.
You're not saying that Spider-Man's coming out. So
What the fuck?
I was going to do like that. Oh, wait. Sorry.
See you next week, everyone. Jesus.